Scientists representing more than 40 museums and research centers took part in the explorations. There are no actors in the film. Every location is real. The facts that will be presented are true. This may be the most startling and controversial film you'll ever see. They have been to Earth and left their mark in many ways, in many places. Figures etched on the plain of Nazca tell a story of explorers from outer space. The secret of the story has been learned. The visitors have been here. They have been described in many ways by many men, from primitive drawings to detailed histories, since the beginning of man's stay on Earth until this day. In the Andean mountains of South America, on the deserts of Egypt, in the temples of India, on islands in the Caribbean, the evidence is clear.
Live, ladies and gentlemen, here at City Hall, second floor, for Telethon 1990, the 5th anniversary of your community broadcast station, Access 8 Television. And if we can get a shot of the board up here, we have a total, ladies and gentlemen, as of 4 o'clock of $2,305. What do you think of that? Let's hear it, huh? Yes, 2305. 2305, and I'd like to just read a few of the people who have pledged. We have a lot more that I have to get to yet, so don't go away. You can only see this on Access 8 Television. I'd like to thank Bernie Carroll Autos in Sparrowbush, New York, for a check for $100 in support of Access 8 TV. Thank you, folks. Also, Hawk's Nest Mechanical in Sparrowbush, New York. Helen Kessler for a $50 check. Thank you, folks, very much. Also, we have Anmore Sportswear right here on Minnesink Avenue in Port Jervis, New York. They have pledged to your community broadcast station $50 today, so thank you, folks. Also, Eckes Auto Body and Lenny's Place. Thank you to Wilbur and Carol Eckes. Carol is our treasurer here on the advisory board for Access 8 TV. They have sent us a check for $100. Thank you, folks, very much. And lastly, before we cut into some great entertainment today, I'd like to thank Shailene Beauty Salon, Harold and Pat Decker, and as we said at the top of the broadcast, Harold's an old citizen of the year, and he does wonderful things around the community here around the holiday season to light up Port Jervis, to get us all in the holiday spirit. We'd like to thank Shailene Beauty for a $25 cash pledge today. And lastly, while we have a couple of seconds here today, Frank and Nancy Semarelli and family, Martins Road in Huguenot, New York. Thank you very much for your $20. That, and along with the other pledges that I'll be reading later, ladies and gentlemen, have gotten us to the $2,305 mark today here on Access 8 Television. Well, while I'm winded, I'm going to let somebody else do a little bit of the work right now. As we said a little early, we have some great entertainment. Some of it's here for you right now. We have some of the finest music you'll ever hear locally, and we have it live right here on Access 8 TV. And after I leave, don't forget, this ain't MTV. This is Access 8 TV. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Bob Kyle and Born to Blues. Hit it.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's boogie. Come on.
Just want a little bit. I don't want it all. I just want a little bit. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love. Turn the lamp down low and give me a little kiss. Turn the lamp down low and give me just a little kiss. Just a teeny weeny bit, a teeny weeny bit of your love. Yeah! Thank you. See what you done. See, Ryder. See what you done. Boy, you done made me love you, baby. Now your good man, he has come. I'm gonna pack my suitcase, baby. Move on down the road. I'm gonna pack my suitcase, baby. Move on down the road. I can't take this loving, baby. I can't carry your heavy load. See, Ryder. See what you done. See, Ryder. see what you done. See Ryder. See what you done. Boy, you done made me love you, baby. Now you're good man, the has come. I'm gonna buy me a shotgun, baby, just as long as I am tall. I'm gonna buy me a shotgun, baby, just as long as I am tall. I'm gonna shoot that man you love it, baby. Won't be no trouble at all. See what you done. See Ryder. See what you done. Well, you done made me love you, baby. Now you're good, man, the has come. Thank you. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the band. The Born the Blues Band is Steve Tanzen on the drums, y'all. On the bass guitar, Dave Adams. Dave's been playing some time with me. And Sandy Beecher on harmonica. Do we have time for another one? Do we? Okay. Thank you. And your brother, all the next door neighbors, and a whole lot of others, baby. They don't want to see me with you. They don't want to see me with you. If they just tend to their business, baby, I tend to mind. Everything will be just fine. I went downtown now, baby, down to the jewelry store. I saw your mother shopping. She said, don't come around no more. They don't want to see me with you. They don't want to see me with you. If they just tend to their business, baby, I tend to mind. Everything will be just fine. Mama and your papa, your sister and your brother, all the next door neighbors and a whole lot of others, baby. They don't want to see me with you. They don't want to see me with you. If they just tend to their business, baby, I tend to mind. Everything will be just fine. Job to do, we got to make this joke run. They don't want to see me with you.
best music in the tri-state area. Thanks again to Bob Kyle and to the fellas behind. Let's have a big round of applause for him again. And once again, while we call your attention to the music set there, we'd like to extend our thanks to Jeff Brett Schneider for donating the wonderful painting that you see set up behind in our music set. While we're getting ready to go on with some more, I'd like to take a moment to announce some more of the wonderful pledges and donations that have come in to us and ask you to please keep on sending in the money. Our thanks to the Tri-State Cleaners and the Tri-State Mall in Montague for their donation of $50. Also to the Milford Dry Cleaners and Laundry on West Hartford Street in Milford for their pledge of $50. To the Tri-State Gazette on Fowler Street here, with regards from Keith Edinger, the publisher, wishing Access 8 every success in the coming year and their pledge of $50. We also have a pledge from the Port Jervis Hearing Aid Center of $10, and some very special friends of ours, Frank, Faith, Roberta, and Sherry Herman at Quick as a Wink Printers, and their pledge of $25. Also, very special thanks to Paul and Jules Pharmacy on Front Street for their pledge of $100. Before we get back to continuing along with our program, we'd just like to ask you all if you'd like to keep on hearing what you've been hearing today. Lots more will be coming to you. We'll be bringing you a little bit more of the best of coming up very shortly. Lots more entertainment coming on, a lot more interviews with area celebrities, people of notoriety throughout the area. We'd like to ask you to make those phones ring, folks. We've been on the air for 5 years now, bringing you everything we can for the best broadcasting here. So we're going to go on with a little bit of the best of and then continue on. Once again, folks, let's hear the phones ringing. We need your money, 856-8100, 8161, and 8162. Call in and make your pledges now so we can keep on bringing you the best in public access broadcasting here in the Port Jervis and Town and Deer Park area. And now on with the best of.
There's a lot of folks outside who are trying to hear. We ask that you keep your seats and wait until the intermission.
What the heck's going on in here?
We got this guy again. The old canaler.
Oh, God, it must be that time of year again. Well, just went out and buried one of my old friends. You're gonna laugh about that. But you know, when I was young, there used to be some undertakers down in Port Jervis. Their names, I probably shouldn't say them, but it was Chevrolet and Hunt. Now these boys had a pretty good, thriving business. You see, in the front was the undertaker parlor, and in the back there was a distillery. I haven't drank some of the stuff they made. I often wondered if they weren't trying to get patrons faster for the front. But they were evil. I'm not talking little evil, I'm talking big evil. Seems like, I don't know if you people remember this because you're probably all too young. But when somebody died, you didn't have to read the morning paper. What you did was go past the undertaking parlor, and they'd have them sitting there in a coffin, just like this, packed in ice. So you'd know if your neighbor died or a loved one or something. Oh, I remember him. And that's the way it went. Maybe a day later they took him up here to Westbrookville or down there in Port Jervis, and they buried him. Well,
poly blend. The shirt is $41 and the shorts $32. The cotton Ramie cardigan features cable knit stitching in white and red, as Jody shows us in a casual and sporty look by Tan J. The clam diggers and top are both $38. She's ready for a day on the golf course. The skirts, pants, and coordinating separates are available to mix and match with this group in sizes 6 through 18. Thank you, girls. Fuchsia. It's a vibrant color for summer and a great look for Monique. The belted jumper by Tan J, featuring front button detailing and side pockets. It is a cotton poly blend. It's made in the USA, and it's priced at $76. Nancy is ready for her court time in Jumping Joy activewear. Fully lined, the two-piece set sells for $76. It's available in pastels and brights, sizes small through extra large. Carefree clothing to fit her active lifestyle. She has selected a 100% cotton skirt belted and priced at $46. The postcards blouse is $27. Coordinating pieces are available in this group in sizes 8 through 18.
Okay, folks, we are back live here at Telethon 1990, the second floor of City Hall in Port Jervis, New York's municipal building, right here in Port Jervis. If you've been with us all day, you've seen some of the wonderful things that we've been doing for you here today on our telethon. Senator Gray was here at the top of the broadcast. Barbara Terwilliger read some poetry. We had missing places here, musical entertainment. We just got finished with a real hot set from Bob Kyle and Born to Blues right here on Access 8 Television. Stay with us for the balance of the program. We're going to be here until 8 o'clock tonight. Our purpose is for you to give us a call, to pledge your donations to keep Public Access Channel 8 on the air here in Port Jervis in the town of Deer Park. You can do that by calling those numbers that you see right on your screen. Our total today so far as of 4 o'clock, and it's now approximately 25 minutes after 4 or 26 after, was $2,305. We need your support, ladies and gentlemen, to continue to do the fine work that we do. I've been trying to mention some of the things that we have brought to you on the air since our last telethon, which was last October, some of the programs that we have brought to you. I'd like to continue on with just a few before we continue with our program today. In case you had forgotten, we brought you the debates from the 94th Assembly District. We brought you continual reports, I think at least 6 reports from the Senate, which are provided by the office of E. Arthur Gray, State Senator from the 39th Senatorial District. We brought 2 telethons to you for the Port Jervis, or the Pike Street Arts Center, right here in Port Jervis, and Dorothy Berkowitz will be coming by later to perform for you. One of those telethons, ladies and gentlemen, that we did for the Pike Street Arts Center was a first for us here at Access 8 TV. We actually broadcast in 2 states. That was brought to you folks in Port Jervis and Deer Park live, but we videotaped that in 3/4-inch tape. Every hour we would run tapes across the bridge to Matamoros Cable, which is owned by Joe Biondo, and also down to Blue Ridge Cable in Milford, Pennsylvania, and they were broadcast with an hour tape delay down there, something that we hope to be able to do more of in the future. But to do that, we need your support today, so give us a call. We have also done about 7 Deer Park Council meetings, and Councilman Joe Cover was in a little while ago, and we discussed how Access 8 Television is going to be doing more of them for you viewers out in the town of Deer Park area. One program that we have done 5 times, 5 consecutive years, that we've brought to you here on Access 8 Television is the Tri-State Gazette Citizen of the Year. We're awful glad to be able to bring programs like these to you in your homes. We also had on the Delaware Valley Lip Sync Contest over at DV in Matamoros. We have brought to you the 2nd anniversary program for the Port Jervis Poets Society. We've done 3 shoots of the Yule and St. Patrick's Day Parade in March. Last year we had wonderful response from all you viewers for the Troop Joseph Aversa Telethon that raised a lot of money for scholarships for needy students in the Port Jervis area high schools that are going to pursue a career in police work or in criminalization. Also, and you saw a little bit earlier today, we have brought 5 programs with Cub Scout Troop 173, including their magic show and their Court of Honor. We did an interview with the Orange County Citizens Task Force on child abuse. We did 3 Port Jervis Planning Board meetings. We've brought, since 1985, we have brought you 5 finals of the Tri-State Gazette Spelling Bee. That's a program we haven't missed, and we don't plan on missing that in the future. We brought you the Port Jervis High School Pops concert this year. Just a little while ago on the Best of Access 8 Television, you saw the live inauguration that was conducted here at City Hall on New Year's Day of 1990. That's 4 in a row we've done there. The middle school winter concerts we do annually. We've done the Taxpayers Association meetings for your viewing pleasure. Also, the Port Jervis High School, Elementary School, and Middle School winter and spring concerts. We've done 2 programs on Handicapped Awareness Days here in the city of Port Jervis in conjunction with the Handicapped Commission. And as I said a little earlier, we also brought you the phone-in for the handicapped, which we think has really made a difference for accessibility for handicapped citizens in the Port Jervis and Deer Park area. We always bring you the Mayor's State of the City address, which is usually in February of March, and we do that live for you. We have done the Ted Kirkendall Community Service Awards. We did a very special program that we got lots of praise for and that we thought was not only interesting and entertaining, but also very technically superior. And that was a program called The Remaking of the Erie Depot, where we took shots that we've done of the depot since 1986, right up through 1990. And Access 8 TV was there the night that they cut the ribbons and entered the new Depot Museum down at the Erie Depot. We have done the Advocates Report, 7 different programs, and those are sent to us by the State Handicapped Commission. We did an interview and a dedication ceremony for the Port Jervis City buses. That interview was with Peg Washbon and our own Gary Epton, who's sitting here today running a camera for us. We have done 3 Project DARE programs in conjunction with the Port Jervis and Matamoros and Westfall Police Departments. An excellent program on drug and alcohol awareness and education done by Lieutenant Tom Meyer and other police officers right here in the area. In fact, we just aired one, I believe, last week, which was the current one that we videotaped thanks to Stan Siegel up at the Promethean Institute in Milford. We have done DARE program graduations thanks to the Kaufmans, and Kathy's running another camera right here in front of me. Those ceremonies were conducted at Bicentennial Elementary School, ASK Elementary School, and also the Sullivan Avenue Elementary School. We've been busy. I hope you people get busy. We need your support for us to continue to bring programs like this to you in your homes. So call those numbers you see on your screen. Pledge some money. We are all volunteers. None of us are paid. We are not supported by any state agencies or anything like that. We only exist and stay on the air because of you and for you. So show us your support today. Very quickly, I'll just read on before we get to an interview with none other than Paul Howell. You've been reading about in the local media and hearing about on the local radio stations and seeing on Access 8. We did an interview with Paul about 2 weeks ago. But before Paul joins us, I'd like to mention that Tuesday nights is our classic movie of the week night. And if you've been following us, we've brought you programs like Flying Aces, Miracle on 34th Street, various cartoons, Son of Godzilla, various other science fiction and horror shows, The Outer Space Connection. We brought you The Wizard of Oz right here on Access 8 Television. Also, this year, since last October, the Arbor Day ceremonies that were conducted at the Delaware Valley Elementary School, the Arbor Day ceremonies that were conducted with Peter Osborne at Fort Decker. We brought to you a program from the Pike Street Arts Center entitled The Vietnam Experience that was produced and directed by Chris Farlikas. We have done numerous public service announcements for other not-for-profit companies and organizations in the tri-state area, including the Lions Club, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the Cancer Society, the Heart Fund, on and on and on. We had a special program that we ran about 7 or 8 weeks with Rich Wilson, a live program right here in our studio called the Country Hit Line. Excellent program. We brought you the Earth Day celebration that was conducted this past year. That tape was supplied to us by Midge Riggs, which brings up a good point. That is another way I wish people would begin to utilize what we have here in the Port Jervis town of Deer Park area as far as a television station, and that's bring your tapes down. We are a limited number of volunteers. We can't possibly cover every event, every participatory program that's going on in our area all the time. There are about 18 or 20 of us who do all this work for you during the week. If you have videotapes of programs that you've done, whether they be of relatives, friends, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, whatever, and you've shot them yourself with your own home video camera, bring them down to Access 8 Television. We'd be happy to put them on the air for you. If you produce your own little broadcasts or small productions that you're doing just because you have that artistic bent or inclination, bring them down. We have an asset here, people, that we're only using 3 nights a week, and nothing keeps us from being on the air 7 days and nights a week. It's just a matter of getting the programming. That's not only up to us, it's also up to you. So help us be better for you. Bring those programs down to us as Midge did with the Earth Day celebration. We also brought you a super program when the Tour de Trump bike race came through Matamoros, Westfall, and Port Jervis. In the rain, I might add. We were there. We were out there getting soaking wet so that you could watch that if you didn't have the opportunity to be down there and see that bike race come through town. We brought you 3 different seasons of the annual spring fashion show for the Port Jervis Business and Professional Women's Club. We did a couple of programs called the Friday Night Taped Variety Show that was produced and directed by Nicholas Andrewski of Milford Arts Theater and Entertainment down in Milford, PA. And if you've been watching recently on Wednesday evenings, you'll notice that Nicholas has also done a music trivia show, which is just super and gets an awful lot of audience response and call-in. We have done 2 programs with the Mortimer Dramatic Arts Group down at the Pinchot Institute in Milford, 2 dramatic series that we brought to you. Wheelchair basketball, wheelchair bowling, again, a community service that we feel we provide to help elevate handicapped awareness in not only our area, but also when it's not on television in the whole tri-state area. Well, we will be bringing more of these programs to you, things that we have done. We're bragging a little bit today. Yes, we are, because I think we deserve it. I'm very proud of all the people that are involved with Access 8 TV. I'm proud of you people that have called in today to support. As I said, as of 4 o'clock today, our total was $2,305. The phones have been ringing extensively since then. Not enough to keep Peter Osborne awake, and Peter's going to be joining us a little bit later to talk about the Minisink Valley Historical Society and also the Erie Depot. Well, I think it's my turn to stop talking for a minute. How do you like that for a segue? A little clapping from the Peanut Gallery. Thank you. Shut him up. You know, about 2.5 weeks ago, a good friend of mine who I used to work with came to me at Colmar Laboratories and mentioned that he had an idea. He is a past veteran of foreign wars. He was with the 82nd Airborne during the Korean War, and possibly if we have time today, we'll discuss a little bit of that. He had mentioned to me that based on his service experience, that it gets lonely when you're a GI and you're in a foreign country. It's not that you can't hear from enough people. You can't get letters from home. You can't be connected to the folks back at home enough to suit you. And he had an idea. He had gone to the Grand Union to see if it would be possible for the Grand Union to donate something, and in this case it was dry iced tea mix, something that he thought might be of use to the servicemen and women over in Saudi Arabia, but also might just show them that we are thinking about them, that we do care about them, that we are glad that they're out there for us to keep America safe. And we discussed that a little bit, and he had told me that the Grand Union did give him one shipment, 60 pounds of dry iced tea mix. We talked for a couple of seconds to see how we might expand that, how we might get the message out to you folks. And since that time, and I'm not going to steal his thunder, Paul Howell, a resident from Cutterbackville, New York, has done wonders in the tri-state area for our servicemen and women overseas. And I am very proud, ladies and gentlemen, to present to you Mr. Paul Howell from Cutterbackville, New York. Paul Howell. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, bud.
Make sure you speak up so we can hear you.
Well, first thing I want to say to you is I want to thank you and all the volunteers here at Channel 8 for helping me to get the people out there and get the names and addresses back to me and to get the donations to me so I can send this stuff to our troops over there.
Glad to do it. That's why we're here as a public access TV station, Paul.
And I'd like to thank WDLC while I'm here and Union Gazette and the Record.
Yes.
I mean, they've all, without them, without you people, I couldn't do this.
Now, I'm sure that viewers have been probably following your progress through the various media that you just mentioned, but maybe just to bring our viewers up to date, how many shipments have you made, and what is the total poundage of the dry ice tea mix that you've sent?
This morning I shipped off, well, yesterday I made 3 shipments. This morning I made 3 shipments, and that makes a total of 12 shipments that I've made, 60-pound shipments, since September the 8th.
So
and I must say, thanks to you people out there, because you are the one that's doing this. You are the one that's furnishing the money, and thanks goes to you.
So that's 720 pounds.
That's right.
Now, I also know from talking to you and from the interview that we did here on Access 8 that you're also trying to get names of servicemen and women over there that A, you can send it to, and B, that you can have people here write letters to them. How you doing with that?
I take names and addresses of everybody that donates, and I put a letter in there myself. And I ask the commanding officer. I don't send to the individual. I send to the commanding officer. And I ask him to please have someone to write back to these people. And I also put envelopes and paper in these boxes so that they can order to do so. And I must say one thing. Here recently, last week, I wasn't getting no addresses in. And I knew that there was more of our boys and girls around here in the tri-state area that's over there. So I went down to Pike County, my wife and I. And when we came back, I had 4 addresses for over there. And then I got 2 more from Matamoros. So there's 6 just in Pike County. I haven't gone to Middletown and places like that yet. And as long as I can continue getting these donations in, if you have a loved one over there, you can bet I'll get a 60-pound shipment of iced tea mix to his commanding officer.
Now, who have you heard back from, Paul? I saw in the paper that Stephen Bannock had wrote a letter back, but have you gotten much response from...
That was the second one.
Okay.
That was the second letter that I got back, and hopefully I should be getting one back, or maybe 2, in this next week coming. I hope so, anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Senator Gray and I were discussing at the top of the telethon today the wonderful spirit of volunteerism that exists here in the tri-state area, especially in Port Jervis and Deer Park, and how our citizens here are so responsive, not only to their neighbors, but to friends and relatives in times when they really need it. And the other day at work, I was sitting in my office, and a woman came down, and she tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "Are you going to see Paul Howell anytime in the near future?" And I said, "Well, I think I'm going to see Paul Howell this Saturday because he's going to come down to our telethon." And she said, "You make sure he gets this." And she handed to me a whole stack, and I have it right here, and it totals $115, people. I have checks. How about that? How about that? These are the kinds of people that we have in our area. I have a $30 check to present to you for the servicemen in Saudi Arabia from San Diego Submarina. I have who also pledged donations here for Access 8 television today, I might add. I also have a check from David and Joyce Marie Spangenberg for $25. I have a $10 check from Monique and Michelle Horan, good citizens here in Port Jervis. I have a $10 check for New Mutual Incorporated, Art Stempert, a $10 check. From Richard K. and Michelle Roberts right here in Port Jervis, a $10 check. And I believe you heard from one of the Robertses, didn't you?
I sent one of the Roberts' son a 60-pound shipment just this morning.
And that was the woman who brought these checks down to me, I might add.
That's
She
right.
mentioned that her son was over there.
And Sheila, you're doing a good job. Thank you. Just keep it up.
Yes, and I also have for you a $25 check from Fowler Rescue and Salvage number 3. And as I was walking out to the cafeteria one day at work, a guy who has already helped you out by making a donation, a guy you used to work
Yeah.
with up at Skyline Division up on the hill, John Galvin, who's involved in government over in Matamoros, Pennsylvania, stopped me in the hall, dug in his pocket, pulled his wallet out, and he says, when you see Paul, here's another $5 because he was also over in Korea, and he knows what it's like to be away from home. So on behalf of the generous people, and I'm honored to represent them today, that are helping out a wonderful cause that you're doing, there's $115 for you, and we hope that goes a long way.
Steve,
Thank you, people.
Steve, I want to thank you. And there's some people out there that's bending over backward trying to help me. I'd like to thank A&W. They're furnishing me my boxes. Doc Simpson, he's furnished me my pellets for my packing. Richie's Army Surplus Store, he's furnishing me my things to go on my jars that I have sitting out there in the stores and every place. And I want to thank the store, the manager and the owner for letting me put them in there. For this is what's keeping this going. And I don't care who it is, give me the addresses of your loved ones that's serving over there. And I'll see that they get 60 pounds of powdered iced tea mix. I have to have the donations, and again, I must say, thanks to you people out there. And the American Campground has helped me out an awful lot. West Brookville Auto, Bill's Mobile. There's so many different people. I can't sit here and think of all of them. But I don't want you to think I'm leaving you out. I thank each and every one of you that has sent a donation to me. And I hope and pray that there's no war over. Because all the veterans out there that's been in war, they know what I'm talking about.
Now, how can people get a hold of you, Paul, if they do have a relative that's serving over there and they want to send their address to you? Where can they reach you?
They can reach me through you, Steve. They can reach me through Grand Union, or they can send it to me, Paul Howe, P.O. Box 105, Godefroy, 12739.
That's P.O. Box 105, Godefroy, New York, 12739. And your telephone number, if you care to give it?
It's 754-8882.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Paul, for coming down and sharing your progress with us on your wonderful efforts on behalf of our service people. You're to be admired. I think you indicate to the people out there what volunteerism really is all about, and how if you really want something done, and Art Gray put it beautifully today, don't count on government, don't count on local, state government, don't count on anybody but yourself, because it's the volunteers and that volunteer spirit that get things done. Thank you very much.
Just like the Korean vet and the Vietnam vet, it wasn't the people, it was your government. Just like your imports. When you have a parade out here, you don't have to worry about the people. The people come. The people at the above have to do it before the people can do it.
Now, I got to mention, before we cut out of here, you're a man of many hats. I think when we did the interview with you before, you had your retirement hat, and it's the only hat that I've ever seen that has a clock on it, and the clock actually works. I mean, there's a battery in there, and when Paul walks by, you can not only say hello and how you doing, but you can find out if you're late or not. But you got a hat on today. I wonder if you could just pop that on for a second, because there's an interesting emblem on the front of that, the wings and the star, and I wonder if you'd like to comment on that for us.
Those wings I'm very proud of. And that little star in there represents the combat jump that I made with the 187th Airborne in Korea.
Well, we're proud of you, and again, we thank you very, very much for coming down here and sharing all this with us.
Thanks to you, Channel 8, and all your volunteers.
Yes. Okay, how about that, folks?
Keep
Paul
them
Howell.
coming in. All that. Keep them coming in.
You know, I'd like to just mention for a minute, Paul mentioned a lot of organizations, and certainly most of the organizations that have been helping him out have also been helping us out down here today. Spangenberg's we've heard from, San Diego Submarina we've heard from, Bill's Mobile has made a pledge down here to us today. We're just thrilled with the support that you folks show for things that go on in your community. not only on behalf of the servicemen that Paul Howell is representing, but also on behalf of a wonderful asset that we have here in Port Jervis, and that's community broadcasting right here on Access 8 Television. He mentioned one company that's providing the boxes to him that allow him to ship this dry ice tea mix to our servicemen and women over in Saudi Arabia. That company was A&W Products on Gardner Street right here in Port Jervis. Not one of those companies that you hear a lot about because it's awful hard to find them. It's difficult to get back there on Gardner Street. They are, as most of the other companies, Anmore has helped us today, Comar Labs has helped us today, companies like that not only employ people and allow you folks and us folks here to earn a good living and to be able to have a standard of living that is satisfactory to us. But they also realize what I consider to be some kind of social obligation that companies and organizations have, and that's to the volunteer efforts that go on in the community. And I'd like to just mention A&W Products because they've been very special to us here, just as other companies have, and we just got a call from them just before Paul came on the air. And like the other organizations and manufacturers in the area, they have contributed today to our Access 8 Telethon 1990. We just got a call, as I said, from Carl Augustine, and he has pledged us $500 today for our telethon, ladies and gentlemen. So we'd like to thank them and all the other companies that have supported us. And before we cut back to the best of, I'd also like to thank ERA Malloy Realty right here in Port Jervis, Paula Malloy and Rocky Malloy down on East Main Street for their contribution of $25. And I'd also like to thank Climatech Cooling Corporation, Vice Versa, up in Sparrowbush, New York. Started that company. His mother is one of our board members. She is our historian, and if you want to come down and see some history of Access 8, we got all the photographs down here, people. We'd love to have you. But we'd like to thank Climatech for their $50 contribution today. Okay, we're going to be reading a total of approximately at 5 o'clock today, ladies and gentlemen, as to where we stand with Telethon 1990. It's coming on 5, about 10 minutes of. We've been on the air about 3 hours. We're almost to the halfway point. We have brought you a lot of entertainment today. We hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, we do this because we like it. We are all volunteers. We're committed to this. We have been for 5 years. We're glad to bring local broadcasting into your home. And if you've been with us, I've been boring you by reading all the programs that we have been doing, but I think it shows a broad variety of types of programming, not only from governmental meetings or things like that, but also things with the Boy Scouts, things with various not-for-profit organizations. We've been involved with drug and alcohol awareness programs. We're involved with dramatic series that go on in some of the various drama centers in the area. We've brought you winter concerts, spring concerts, fall concerts with all the elementary schools here. We brought you DARE program graduations. We have classic movies of the week on Tuesday night for you. The list is too numerous to go on because I'm getting the hook sign from the floor director. So stay with us here on Access 8 Television. Don't just watch. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pick up the telephone and call us here at Access 8 TV. The numbers are 856-8100, 856-8161, and 856-8162. If you've ever, on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night, flipped around the channels and gotten to Channel 8, put the brakes on and stopped and watched for a while, then give us a call, because you know what we're all about, and we hope you support us so that we can continue to be here for you. We are a great alternative to commercial television. So keep us on the air by making that call. Peter Osborne, Doris Aversa, Doris Hammond are all getting bored back there. Keep them busy. Come on, it's up to you folks. Let's get cooking here. We're going to break right now for the best of. Come back with us. No, we're not. I'm sorry, we have the Tri-State Country Music Association right here. I'm going to cut over to Studio A, Steve Bressler. Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Paul.
I think we can all
Thank you,
admit
bud.
that we certainly owe a great debt of
God, you helped
gratitude
me out
to
all
people like
good.
Paul Howell, who put their hearts and their energy into supporting everything that they find good cause for. We here at Access 820 owe a debt of gratitude to the people who have supported us over the years. That's you, the viewers out there. Let's get those phones ringing so we can have some pledges come in at 5 o'clock when we read our total so we can really get some good numbers going up on there. As most of you probably know, we've always been involved with music in one way or another on Access 8. You heard some great blues by Bobby Kyle just a little while ago. You've seen clips on the best of some of the other music, Blues at Grey Tower, some of the rock and roll music that you've heard. Well, today here with us we have another group that gives us another facet of music. This is the Tri-State Country Music Association. They've been around for a while. They've been performing. They do a lot for this area as well. And what I'm going to do here is introduce some of the members. I know Rich Wilson, I know Phyllis Kowinski. Rich has got a mic in hand here. He's going to introduce the rest of the members, and then we can find out a little bit more about them. Rich, how about introducing everybody that we've got here with us tonight?
I would like to do that. Thank you. This gentleman standing right next to me, ladies and gentlemen, this is our recording secretary of the Tri-State Country Music Association. This is Mr. Roy Gill. The young lady standing next to him, and young lady, do I sound nice or what? This is our treasurer of the Country Music Association. This is Phyllis Kowinski. The young lady next to her, she is our reigning queen of the Tri-State Country Music Association, and she is also our assistant secretary because Roy takes a lot of trips and decides he wants to leave. And the young lady standing right next to Connie is another Connie. That's Connie Gill, and Connie is a very dedicated member of the Tri-State Country Music Association, as well as being our former secretary. And they're just wonderful people, Steve. They do a lot of great things for us.
Well, we'd certainly like to see the support of organizations like that. Phyllis, maybe you could take a moment and tell us. I understand that you've had a very busy year this past year with the Tri-State Country Music Association. Maybe you can give us a little idea of some of the things you've been doing.
Okay. Well, we've donated to the San Francisco Earthquake Fund, which we all remember with great sorrow. And on the happier side, we've given 3 Thanksgiving Day dinners last year to area residents that were in need. We put on a Christmas for a needy family in the area that wouldn't have had a Christmas. And we've also donated to the Chamber of Commerce Holiday Decoration Fund for Port Jervis to make our city beautiful. And we've donated to such funds as the Wendy Silverman Fund, which was a transplant fund. We also have donated to the Chamber Community Educational School Fund, and we've established a separate scholarship fund which will go to each of the 3 area schools in the field of music. And we've also donated to the United Cerebral Palsy Fund. And upcoming, we have some things planned. We're trying to put together a mid-November jamboree in the area, so that'll be fascinating and interesting to all of you country fans. And we're going to put a float in the Christmas parade. And we'll be doing some Christmas caroling, hopefully. And also the members of the organization that do play instruments and perform will be going to the local nursing homes and Mercy Manor at the hospital here and entertaining some of the less fortunate people in the area. That's about what we have planned for the future.
Okay, well, I think as you people can see that the Tri-State Country Music Association certainly does have a wide variety of activities that they participate in, but I think maybe some of you viewers out there maybe don't really know too much about what the Tri-State Country Music Association is and what they do. Rich, maybe you can give us a little bit of a background on the group and how you got established and started, maybe some of your goals and what you plan to be doing.
Well, I would like to be able to tell you all of that information, Steve, if I knew all of that information. I just recently became was elected as president of the Country Music Association, and that was a shock to me because I was kind of new to the association when that honor was bestowed upon me, thanks to a few people around here. And I've learned a little bit about the association as it went along. I know that it was established originally back in the 60s and then later again reestablished in 1974, I believe. With Bear Herman, who was involved with that, right, Roy? Right, Bear Herman. I don't remember all of the officers at that time, and there have been many different presidents at that time. Ray Henry was one of them, and of course our vice president right now, who is not with us this evening, that's Mr. Bob Smith, who is also a country music performer. The Country Music Association, their main purpose is to help promote country music, not only to the public, but all over the place, so that people are aware of what country music is all about, and that we help promote the artists that are performing country music in one way or another, whether it's on Access 8 or it's on jamborees or whatever it happens to be. That is our main goal. And then we have the side goal, which is most important as far as we're concerned, is helping people. As you see with the different things that the association has done, whether it's with helping somebody with a Christmas holiday, the needy, that's really important. But the thing that we're really working on now and we're really proud of is that we're setting up the scholarships at the schools for students who are looking to continue on their career into music.
Okay, well, so some of you get a general idea now of what the Tri-State Country Music Association is all about. I think that you can see that it is an organization that's been around for a long time, and we here at Access 8, of course, would like to offer as much support as we possibly can to the Tri-State Country Music Association. And of course, we can try and help them, and we need you to help us. The phones are awfully quiet now, folks. I'd sure like to hear some of them ringing. If you're a country music fan, if you'd like to see some more country music here on Access 8, if you'd like to get involved with the Tri-State Country Music Association, give us a call, 856-8100, 856-8161, and 8162. We need your pledges and donations. We need you to come down as volunteers. You can come down and get involved here. You can get involved with Rich and with the group here as well.
Before we leave you, we'd like to just leave you with this check on behalf of the Country Music Association. And it's just a small token of our esteem, but we'd like to thank Access 8 for helping us with whatever they do to help support.
Rich, we certainly appreciate it. We have a check here for $25 from the Tri-State Country Music Association. Let's hear a big hand for them. We certainly do appreciate it. To the grab bag. Are we going to do a grab bag drawing? We're going to do a grab bag drawing. Okay, what we're going to do right now is we're going to shift our set over a little bit. We have Steve Butler over here with Mr. John Bonisic, who is, I think, going to be the one who will be drawing out from the grab bag right now. So if we can bring the little package over to him now and change over to our set B, we can get going from there.
Well, I'll tell you, boy, do we got you in the hot seat now. I'll explain very quickly to the viewers, the grab bag. We've been selling tickets around the area for the last 2 or 3 weeks for $1 a piece. A lot of businesses and organizations have contributed products and or services to us, and before this broadcast is over, we're going to read each and every one of them. But about every half hour or so, we do a grab bag drawing. The winner will get whatever Doris brings up to me any second now, but we're going to ask Assemblyman John Bonacek to do the drawing. John, if you would, and a drum roll if we had a drum.
Okay, here goes. And the winner is Joanne Wilcox of 14 Ramsey Street in Port Jervis.
Joanne Wilcox wins. How about that? She wins $25 worth of dry cleaning from the Milford Dry Cleaners.
All right.
Right here, right down in Milford. $25. You can pick this up by contacting us here at the station. Joanne, if you're home, come on down. We'd love to have you. You know, pick it up in person. Pick up your certificate. Okay. And now I'll kind of back into this introduction. We kind of fronted our way into it. But ladies and gentlemen, the viewing public, I'd like to introduce you to the Assemblyman from the 94th Assembly District here in the state of New York, Mr. John Bonacek. John, good to have you back.
Oh, thanks very much for the invitation today. You couldn't pick a better day to have your telethon. I see Vinny Aversa just walking in. Vinny, how you doing? You know, I can't say enough about Access 8 TV with the public service that they do for the community. They reach out and bring so many stories into the homes of people where people like many senior citizens or handicapped people who are stuck in their homes, don't know what's going on in the community, yet they can turn that TV station on and their Access 8 is, and it fills a lot of interest to them, and it helps them feel that they're part of this community, that they're not isolated. And I've been seeing the various groups. I've been here about a half hour watching your different celebrities talking. And I know myself, when we have public service announcements from our office,
yes,
we call in, and your TV is good enough to report it. And, you know, many a times when we look at commercial TV, everything is in the negative. We see crime, we see horror stories, but this public service TV, in my judgment, is what we need more of. It stresses the positive things in life, and it talks of the strength of a community, and it gives vitality. And I myself, I'm here, and I'm going to make a contribution because I believe in what you do. And so I congratulate you, and I would ask the community to reach out. And I know that this is a soft economy. I know that a lot of areas are hurting in construction, real estate, whatever. But public service TV, in my judgment, is a necessity for a community, and make a contribution no matter how small, even if it's $1. Share in continuing this vital service to our community.
Well, I know you have a real busy schedule, John, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day today, because I'm sure you've probably been on the move since early this morning. And for the viewers out there, I'm sure you recall the programs that we have done. You were here for the debates that we had.
We were here for the debates.
You were here for the Aversa Telethon as well.
That's correct.
And we're awful glad you're here today.
Yes.
And I will also plead with your constituents to give us a call here to support the efforts that we do for all of you that view us. And the numbers are flashing right on your screen below you. We only exist for you, and we only exist because you support us. So get those telephones ringing, ladies and gentlemen. And while you're here, I'd like to just take a minute and announce, if I can look over my shoulder, Doris Aversa just reported our progress for the first 3 hours on the air today. Since 2 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen, our 5 p.m. total is $3,165. How about that?
Okay. That's terrific.
Yes. 3165. And if you're sitting at home and you want to make your contribution in person, I'm going to make you an offer. We got dinner for you down here if you bring your money down. We got hot dogs. Doris made chili. Tammy made some. We got pizza. We got soda. We got chips. We got Chub Prisco here. We got everything coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cut back to the best of right now while we're waiting for our next musical entertainer to set up. I'm not going to tell you who he is so that you stay tuned for us, but he's definitely one you don't want to miss. So stay with us here on Access 8 TV while we go to the best of. And again, thank you, Mr. Bonacek, for coming down.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Theodore Richard Plessner, Jr. Russell Albert Wilkins. Matthew T. Mercilliot. Alan N. Butler, Jr. Tina Marie Schnackenberg. Otto N. Banghart III. William J. Warden. Vern Harden. Ryan Lewis Inella. Robert Joseph Knapp. John Adam Jones. Robert Patrick Henderson. Michael Joseph Scully. Brian Robert Joachim. Receiving a Principal's Excellence Award, James Richard McCooey. Daniel Peter Gilday. Christopher Michael Clayton. Brett W. Harding. Richard C. Hoffbauer. Nathan Timothy Parsons. William A. Dixon. Michael A. Fournier. Jeffrey Joseph Legato. Jeffrey David Baird.
Jason Yu, Menacing Valley. Vincent Millay, Trinity Catholic.
Seth Berkowitz, Port Jervis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the picture that you are looking at is, I'd like to just point it out right back here on our set. It looks a little hot on the screen. We might want to cut some of those lights out a little bit. That painting has been provided to us for today by Jeff Bretschneider, who is a local artist here in Port Jervis. A lot of his works you can see throughout town, and you can probably run into him on occasion at the Pike Street Arts Center. I have the pleasure of introducing to you folks this afternoon not only a very close and dear friend of mine, but also a 5-year Access 8 television member. Will has been here since October of 1985. He was one of the charter people that got involved with Access 8 TV. He is a technical wizard. He was here late last night with the gentleman who's laying on the floor here with a camera, Jerry, our cameraman. He has really been a help to Access 8 television as far as what you actually see and hear out there. He taught me how to run a camera, I recall. He's been a real asset to us, and I'm glad he's sharing his time and talents with us also here today. I'd like to mention that Will last year was one of the co-producers of Woodstock 89. I think we had about 45 or 50,000 people up there. Wednesday, 65. Boy, the years go by and the numbers keep growing. And I know that this year, State Police said 65, and boy, they know, don't they? I'd like to mention that you were up at Woodstock again this year. You had a chance to play with not only some of the people that were there at the original Woodstock, but some other talented musicians. Not to omit, Canned Heat was there. Richie Havens.
No. The Canned Heat wasn't there. I did an opener for them at the Pursuit earlier before that.
Okay.
But anyway,
we got our
Richie
notes
Havens
screwed
and
up.
Arlo Guthrie and a bunch of people. It was
Yeah,
good.
I heard Arlo Guthrie played with his son.
Yeah.
Had a real hot
he did.
gig going, huh?
Incredible. Really incredible.
Well, ladies and
If you weren't
gentlemen,
there, you missed it.
enough of me. Let's hear from Mr. Will Hoppe.
Thanks. This first one's one of my own tunes. This is a song that I wrote with Frank Herman, another founding Access 8 member, past president member. The sun makes its exit from the city sky. The skyscraper buildings start to come to life. The hour rushes over, the night settles in. In my footsteps down the empty street, feel the rhythm of my own heartbeat. From the darkness, the saxophone comes crying. Name the stranger in the
the shadows, wondering who you are. And out there, the midnight trains are rolling. Oh, they're rolling. The neon smiles from above the door. The ladies of the night dance on a sticky floor. The jukebox in the corner plays a song I hate. And I'm not thinking about the things you said, and I won't cry about our empty bed. And when I heard the door slam, my heart didn't break. I'm a nameless stranger in a smoky bar. Face the shadows, wondering who you are. Now there, midnight trains rolling. They're rolling. Hello, honey, are you glad I called? We know this being single ain't too bad at all. But if you'd like to try again, I guess I could think it over. Really, babe, I'm just doing fine. Please tell the kids that their dad says hi. Maybe Sunday we could take them to the park. The shot sun cuts into the night. Car horns blown, the city comes to life. Say I only had a few. I guess I'm just a little tired. I grab my jacket and I head uptown, where that steamboat feeling starts to sneak around. This time though, the neon lights, they're laughing. I'm a nameless stranger in a smoky bar. Face the shadow to hide the stars. That midnight train, where the hell is it going? And that morning train's outside rolling. Oh, it's rolling. Where's it going? Where am I going? Let me see. That's an old box tops tune. Don't have a lot of fun with this one. Give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to catch a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. You must have wrote me a letter. I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Gotta get back to my baby again. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. But baby must have wrote me a letter. Wrote me a letter, cool and little, loud and long. Mr. Can't you see? Gotta get back to my baby once more. Anyway, give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to catch a fast train. All the days are gone, I'm going home. The baby must have wrote me a letter. Ain't got time to catch a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm going home. Baby must have wrote me a letter. Said lonely days are gone, I'm going home. Baby must have wrote me a letter.
How long do I got? An hour. This means keep going.
One more.
This means wrap it up. One more. Okay, that's the official, the headphone word. Okay. This is from the booth. Yes. From Liz with the stopwatch. It's an old Graham Nash tune. I like to play these old songs. They're a lot of fun. This is a song about, now this is when you got to be over 30 to know who the Chicago 7 were. Right? Isn't that right, Brody? Yes. Okay. Anyway, so this is a song about that.
So your brother's bound and gagged, and they chained him to a chair. Won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? The line that's known as freedom, how can such a thing be fair? Won't you please come to Chicago for the help that we can bring? We can change the world. Rearrange the world. It's time to get better. Politicians, sit yourselves down, there's nothing for you here. Won't you please come to Chicago, show your face. Don't ask Jack to help you, cause he'll turn the other end. Won't you please come to Chicago, no one else can take your place. You can change the world. You believe in justice, if you believe in freedom, let a man live his own life. Rules and regulations, who needs them? Open up the door. Whoa. Somehow people must be free. I hope the day comes soon. Won't you please come to Chicago just to sing? From the bottom of the ocean to the mountains of the moon. Won't you please come to Chicago for the help that we can bring? We can change the world. Erase the world. It's dying if you believe in justice. If you believe in freedom, let a man live his own life. Rules and regulations, who needs them? Open up the door.
Thank you. Before I leave, I just got to say that once again, and this may be the Department of Redundancy department, but it's your TV station. Which camera am I on? Where's the tally light here? This one. Okay. It's your TV station. Even though there's a very few people who seem to do the technical work and administrative work, it belongs to everybody in this town. And you can support it in lots of ways. You can give money for equipment, or you can come down because we need I'm not letting any cats out of the bag if I say that the majority of the camera work and the work down here is done by 15 people? Maybe? Okay, 15 people out of the 8,000 that live in Port Jervis alone. That doesn't count Deer Park. And what we really need is about 60 people to actually do hands-on work so that every time there's something that needs to be done, there's people there to do it. So please come down and volunteer. we definitely need your help and all the new blood and creative ideas and positive energy that we can possibly get. So, thank you.
Okay, folks, we are back at Studio A here at Telethon 1990 at the second floor of the Municipal Building in Port Jervis, New York, celebrating 5 years on the air for you. And as Will just said, we only exist because you help us exist, because you provide the funds and the manpower, although we'd like to see more manpower. Without you supporting us, the 5 years that we have been on the air would end today or next week or next month. So please, make those telephones ring. I announced a little earlier our 5 o'clock total was $3,165. I've been reading throughout the day a lot of the various programs that we have brought to you. We brought you 115 Common Council meetings. We've only missed 3 in the 5 years that we've been here. That's 3 against the 115 that we have covered. We bring you the live inaugurations every year in January of 1990. Not only through Mayor Art Gray's term, but through Mayor Dick Roberts. We were here in January of 1990 for the inauguration for not only the mayor, but also all the members of the Common Council. We've covered 3 planning board meetings. We've done all the Meet the Candidates debates that have been done in 5 years in conjunction with WDLC, WTSX. Not to omit the 94th Assembly debates that were down here, the Port Jervis and Deer Park Meet the Candidates debates that were down here. We've brought them to you. We've done Project DARE programs with Lieutenant Tom Meyer at the elementary school level in Port Jervis and the town of Deer Park, and also Delaware Valley. I think I counted about 3 or 4 nights ago, 571 different programs that Access 8, original programs that Access 8 Television has brought to you in your homes, living rooms, kitchens, wherever you're watching us today, since we went on the air in October of 1985. And I'd just like to amplify that what you see on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights for the last 5 years, some nights Thursdays. Also, we've been on Friday nights on occasion, Saturday and Sunday with various children's programs. All those programs that you see are brought to you by volunteers. Nobody, but nobody down here makes or takes a penny of the money that you send us. We mentioned a little earlier that last year's telethon we raised $12,000 with your efforts and support. I'd like to mention that with that $12,000 we have been able to purchase, and we showed a little earlier, 2 brand new cameras. They go for about $2,700 a piece. I think Stan Siegel, one of our cameramen, is going to try to get a shot of one of those cameras that Jerry Turner's operating. These cameras have 5-inch viewfinders at the top. Here we can kind of zoom in there a little bit. I know it's not as well lit, but we didn't plan this. This is live television. The tripod that you're looking at that camera sits on was $950. So that whole setup right there is almost $4,000 worth of equipment. We bought 2 of those. So there's $8,000. We bought a $3,200 editing system that we used for many, many things, not the least of which is the best of Access 8 that you've been watching here on Access 8 television today. We've bought probably 200 blank video cassettes, and we have to buy the professional grade video cassette because we want the quality that we bring you to be as good as it possibly can be. They are not as cheap as the $2.99 or $3.99 versions that you may use at home for just straight video work that you're doing with your own camcorders. We have bought microphone lines. We have bought 5 new microphones, 4 of which are being used out here today. We have bought other cords, wires, little accessories, clamps, hooks, splicers, different things like that, all with the $12,000 that you gave us last year. The point that I'm trying to make is that all of that is spent locally. We try to give that to businesses in the tri-state area. We try to utilize it as best we can to get the biggest bang for our buck with the things that we are purchasing. But we haven't been able to do it without you. We're willing to stay on the air for another 5, 10, 15 years, as long as it takes. We hope to grow bigger and better for you guys every year. We can't do that unless you're here for us. Today's your day, folks, as well as our day. Call the numbers that you see on your screen. Make that pledge right now. Don't sit and say, I'll do it in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or I'll do it after we have dinner tonight. Do it now. Make the call. Show us that you support us. Show us that you like not only the variety, but the quantity of broadcasts that you see on Access 8 television. We need you people. We have to have you down here, or else we're going to go black. And we think we are just a fabulous alternative to commercial or network television. Okay, you'll be hearing a lot about that as we go along. I have the pleasure of introducing to you viewers out there today the governor of District 20 of the Lions Club of the state of New York, a local guy. I'm sure you recognize him. He is a businessman here in the community, Mr. Ted Blair. Ted, glad to have you, sir. Awful glad you came down today.
My pleasure.
I know you're busy.
It gives me an opportunity, because I've been here a few times before where a lot was said about what those of us in community service do, and now I think I have an opportunity to commend you and your staff for what you've done.
Well, a round of applause for all the volunteers then. Good job, good job.
I traveled extensively, and one of the things we have done this year is met with 647 governors throughout the world of Lionism. And one of the biggest problems everyone talks about is communication, getting the message, our message, to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And contrary to what a lot of people may believe, most urban cities would give anything to have a facility such as yours, a vehicle where we have a sounding board to give our message. We're not polished, we're not professionals, but for what we lack in polish, I think we make up for in eagerness.
Yep, and enthusiasm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and this, I just trust that the community understands the value of what you and your staff are doing here, because it's a phenomenal vehicle for every service organization, every aspect of community life, to see people as they really are.
Well, I thank you for that, and on behalf of all the volunteers that are here and have been here over the years, we appreciate those comments. You know, very often we sit around because it's difficult work at best. I mean, there are probably 18 to 20 people that are involved today that are putting this broadcast on. I mean, not only the people that the viewers at home see, but there's folks behind the camera, there's lighting technicians, there's directors, producers that are sitting in the booth. But we often wonder sometimes, why the heck are we doing this? I mean, it's such hard work and everything like that. But I think not only do we enjoy it, as yes, I'm sure you do with the work that you do for the Lions Club, but we also feel that the viewers out there deserve it, that we are, and I'll brag a little bit here very quickly, we are in the top 10, folks, public access channels in the state of New York, and we are here in a city of 8,000, in a community including Deer Park of maybe 25,000. We are in the top 10 public access channels. That includes New York City, Long Island, Westchester, Albany, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester. That's right here in Port Jervis.
Fantastic.
Now, as far as the Lions Club goes, how's
Lions.
business?
Very good. We're growing constantly, and like you, having problems getting volunteers, because with two family incomes and so forth, it's getting more and more difficult. We are launching a campaign, it's the first time in history, where we're going to advertise through the media an organizational meeting where we would like to explain Lionism to people, because it's harder and harder, as you know, to get volunteers. People will give their time. I suspect and have no doubt in my mind that when President Bush referred to 1,000 points of light, he was referring to the Access 8 channels and the service clubs throughout the world. Because due to the complexity of our government and our society, we're going to have to do more and more on a volunteer basis.
Definitely.
Less and less is going to be done for us, and we've reached a point where we're going to have to stop asking, what are you going to do for us? We're going to have to go out and do it. And that's what's made this country great to begin with.
And I hope that's what continues to make it great.
Absolutely.
Senator Gray was here right at 2 o'clock today. He was kind enough to take a few minutes out of his busy schedule to jump in right at the beginning of the broadcast, and he kicked us off on the air. And I'll quote him as best I can without having the script in front of me, but he said, anymore, you can't count on city government, you can't count on regional government, you can't count on national or federal government, not because they don't want to help as much as they can, but because their resources are limited.
Right.
If you really want to get things done, you have to get down to that 1,000 points of light again.
Absolutely.
You got to go back to the grassroots. You have to get the people that are involved, and even some people that aren't involved, all together to help pull negative situations up to the point where they're going to benefit a whole lot of people. And I'm sure your organization has been doing that for a lot of years.
Well, internationally, our international new program this year, which has been launched in St. Louis 3 months ago, is called Sight First. And our goal, Lions Club International Foundation has committed $5 million to this program. and it is to eliminate preventable blindness by the end of the decade. And preventable blindness meaning the elderly who cannot afford the cataract operation or glasses. Everything within our community, the Appalachian countries within, the Appalachian areas within our own country, but even more so, getting into some of our third world nations, where river blindness, youngsters are bathing in water that is totally polluted. And what's happening is their eyelashes are curving in instead of out. And if you've ever had an eyelash, you know how painful that can be. By the time the youngster is old enough to realize the damage is irreversible, and it's strictly an educational program. Vitamin A deficiency, 1/3 of all preventable blindness in third world nations, is a lack of vitamin A. And for 6 cents per year, a youngster can be kept from going blind. And these are commitments that we're making. And Lions are noted for their work with the sight. We have our Albany Institute where we do research, and all across the world we do research. We're noted for hearing. We have Empire State Speech and Hearing where it's a 1-on-1 ratio. But Lions are very versatile. Lions build driveways, they build ballparks, they sponsor more Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops than any other organization. They have built and maintained more hearing and sight research development groups and facilities than any other organization in the world. And they continue to go where the problem is, and they will always be there. And I'm going to make the plug too. I know that this is Access 8, and you're looking for volunteers. Well, so are we. And,
We'll share them.
We'll share them.
Sure we will.
And,
There's plenty of time in a day.
I would love to be in a position shortly where, as a Lions Club, we could say, we've got some people that are interested, but like you, we're down to bare minimums, as a lot of clubs are. And a lot of people are working overtime. But if we could get more volunteers, more people to share, and I never think of asking someone to join an organization, but I would like to ask everyone in the listening audience and offer them an opportunity to serve their community, because that's what small town living is all about. And people in the urban areas envy us for that. There's an opportunity here to become involved, to get involved with your community, to do something a little bit different. And we have that, and thanks to you. And you know, Steve offered the accolades to the group here, but I think Steve deserves a lot of credit for keeping this thing all together.
Well,
and one other thing I was going to question, why does Stan tell me I had to sit by the eggs? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
Stan said I had to sit by the eggs, so here I am, Stan.
You know, nobody's come down yet to look at his legs, and Art Gray was in earlier, and Art, before we went on the air, it was about 5 minutes to 2, and Art said, I got a great opening shot for you, because we were running around like crazy trying to figure out how we're going to kick this thing off. You know, we have to have some kind of excitement to start it with. And they wanted to get a shot of Stan Siegel's legs, and I said, please, don't do that. We need contributions. We don't want people turning off their television sets.
Well, there are 3 counties in New York where they'd be banned.
Can we get a shot of those? Does anybody have a loose camera? Can we get in there?
You gotta show it.
We'll take a look. I don't know. I'd put light on them, but
no.
If we can cut to Jerry's camera, I think we got a shot of those legs. I'm not sure. There they are. How about that? Let's hear those phones ringing for Stan Siegel's legs if we can. You see the numbers down in front of you. You know, one thing I'd like to mention, and I thank you very much for the accolades, and I accept them on behalf of all of us. What's really neat about a volunteer organization, I find, and I'm sure you do too in yours, is that people seem to kind of find their own spot in an organization and how they can contribute best. And it's just like in a business, it's just like in government. There isn't one job that's bigger, there's not one job that's higher or better, because without all the little jobs and all the other jobs that go with it, none of the jobs would be important. And somebody asked me one time, Lester Conklin, I don't know if you're watching, Les, I hope you are. I was talking about Access 8 TV at work one day, and Lester works where I work. And I said, why don't you get involved, you know, come on down, you know, we'd love to have you and everything like that. And he looked at me, I think he was half kidding, but he says, well, geez, I don't know. He says, I heard you're the richest man in Port Jervis because you own the television station. He said, how much do you make, you know, for being down there? And I said, you make a happy heart. Right. You make contentment. You make other people happy. And I said, I don't know of any place you can go and have that paid to you than you can in a volunteer organization. And I'm sure you have that
Don't you
spirit
feel
too.
good when you go to bed at night and know you've done something?
It Tired but good, yeah. And I know all these volunteers and all the people that have been here with us today, all the people that, like yourselves, that have taken time out of your day, are all going to go home tonight and say, what the heck, we did something, you know, we had a good time.
For those who have been hesitant to volunteer, I think as an administrator, I have to say to you, one of my favorite thoughts is, wouldn't it be a wonderful life if no one ever cared who got the credit?
Yes. Isn't that a nice, admirable thought? Now, you shared something with me today, and I wonder if you would like to share that with all of our viewers out there.
Yes, I would.
If we can get good audio on this, it'd be fabulous.
I would, a poem that was read to me by our international president, Bill Biggs, in St. Louis, and I think it sums up everything we've been talking about. I watched them tearing a building down, a gang of men in a busy town. With a ho-heave-ho and a lusty yell, they swung the beam and the sidewall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men skilled, the kind of men you'd hire to build? He gave a laugh and said, no, indeed. Just common labor's all I need. I easily wreck in a day or two what it has taken builders a year or more to do. I thought to myself as I went away, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I a builder who works with care, measuring life with a rule and a square? Am I shaping my deeds to a well-made plan, carefully doing the best that I can? Or am I a wrecker who walks the town, content with the labor of tearing it down?
Good thought. Good thought.
Steve, I'd like to,
I thank you for that
on behalf
very
of our
much.
business, I'd like to give you a check.
Very generous donation from Blair Carpet Center right here in Port Jervis, New York. I thank you for
And
that.
to you
on behalf
personally,
of you.
one of my district pins.
Why, thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
If you don't mind, I won't wear this individually because all of us here believe that we're a family.
Fine.
But I'd like to put it up on our board on
Fine.
the inside,
I'd like
just as something that all of us can share in as
Very
part
good.
of being a board.
Thank you much. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
taking
having
the time
us.
out today.
Good
Ted
luck.
Blair, Governor of District 20 of the Lions Club of the State of New York. How about a round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, one thing. Before you go, all day long, one of the other little interesting things we've been doing for Telethon 90 this year, a lot of businesses and service organizations, in lieu of money, contributed prizes or awards or products or services. And we've been selling tickets, grab bag tickets for $1 a pop for about the last 2.5 weeks. We have, I think, announced only 2. How many do we have, Doris, altogether?
Oh, a lot.
A lot. We have a lot, so we have a lot of these yet to do.
20.
We have,
I'd say 20.
we have 20. We're only up to 3, and it's 20 minutes to 6, and we have about 2 hours and 20 minutes, but we're going to go like the hounds of Hades to get this done. If you could pick a name out and read the winner of a $25 gift certificate from Al's Men's Store right here in Port Jervis on Fowler Street. Al's Music. Al's Men's Store went out of business.
You're
years ago,
dating
didn't it?
yourself, Steve. You just dated yourself.
That's Al and Patty Gessner, and boy, am I going to hear about that. Sorry, Al, but it's Al's Music Store. If you can't read it, go there. It's right on Fowler Street in Port Jervis. $25 gift certificate. Live television. The winner is?
M. Hoppy.
Marlene Hoppy. A little music for Marlene. What do you think of that? Again, I'd like to thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Okay.
My pleasure, Steve.
Okay, we're going to continue on with Telethon 1990, folks. And since Ted is just leaving the set right now, before he does, I'd like to just say that any not-for-profit service organization that has any announcements that they would like to have broadcast over the air, that's one thing we're here for. We've been doing it on Tuesday and Wednesday nights for about the past 3.5 years. The program was originally called Gilly's Mailbag in honor of Dick Gill, one of our volunteers and a postman. Send your pancake breakfasts, your dinners, programs that you're having. Send them to us, care of Access 8 Television, P.O. Box 321, Port Jervis, New York. We would love to put it on the air for you to announce it to our viewers. So do that, don't forget. Okay, right now I'd like to cut back to Studio B, where we have 2 Access 8 members, Steve Bressler, and he's going to conduct an interview with our floor director here today, Mr. Steve Tanzen. Steve Bressler, take it away.
Thank you very much, Steve. I would like to just read off a few announcements here and a few names and some thank yous. Steve just mentioned about the grab bag, and you just heard about some of them. I'd like to give you an idea of what's been donated to us so far. First of all, very, very special thanks to Jeff's Garden Shop for the scenery that you see all around all of our sets today, and for quite a number of potted mums that will be given away as part of the grab bag. We have 2 steins donated by Copycat. We have a $25 gift certificate from the Milford Cleaners. $25 certificate that somebody just won from Al's Music Store. The beautiful telethon cake, which I think you saw at the very beginning when we opened up here, from Zita Inella. Come on down and have a piece, by all means. $30 plants from TJ's Hot House. 3 1995 portraits from Larry Friedman Studios. We have a ceramic Christmas tree, $90 value from Elizabeth Studios. We have a $35 membership from the Tri-State Health and Fitness Center. A wash and cut from Hot Locks. A $15 gift certificate from the Bob and Betty Shop. And a $15 gift certificate from the Fabric Center. We have a $50 gift certificate from Schuler Press. We have an appointment book and a set of beautiful pens from Buchanan's right down here on Jersey Avenue. A cut and shampoo from New Wave Hair Cutters. 3 pizzas donated by Totoni's and 3 pizzas donated by Brother Bruno's. Once again, these are for the grab bag, and you're going to hear a lot of names called out. Maybe if you were one of the lucky ones to have bought one of those grab bag tickets, you might win something out of these too. I'd also like to take a moment to give very special thanks to Charlie and Judy Shea for hot dog rolls, for sauerkraut, for the steam trays to keep them warm, and for providing manpower to transport the equipment and food down here for all of us who have been working hard. Also, special thanks to Miles Comfort, the executive chef and general manager at the Riverview Inn, for preparing the food, and a big thanks to TCB Trucking for donating 100 hot dogs for the day for everybody who's down here. Let's have a big hand for it. Folks, you've seen some of the totals that have gone up on our tote bag here, some $3,165. I'd like to read some of the names of people who have been so generous to us, and I'd like to hear the telephones ring some more, and maybe you'd hear your name read too. This one says, please do not announce my name, read the comment only. I'll tell you, I know who you are and you know how I am, so thank you very much. Really glad to have the station and really liked Missing Places, a $50 donation. We have a $75 donation from Westbrookville Auto Body in Westbrookville, New York. We have a $10 donation from Louis and Louie Latini. We have a $100 pledge from Tanky's Garage and Used Body and Body Shop. Jupe, thank you very much, and to all the Tankies out in Godefroy, thank you very much. We have a $10 pledge from Paul Howell, who was just interviewed here, the Iced Tea Man, Huguenot, New York. A $25 check from Tom and Helen Pasercha and children. Again, thank you. Stanley and Sharon Siegel and family. Well, we saw his legs. Maybe somebody's going to donate to match this. A $25 pledge from Stan and Sharon. Thank you. A group that's very near and dear to my heart from the Port Jervis Poets Society, $50 pledge. From Joe and Rosalind Cover out in Huguenot, a $10 pledge. From Kobe Tron of Franklin Street here, a $10 pledge, says, I enjoy your station very much. We have a pledge here, and it says this ought to be read on the air, from Roman and Jeanette Fedorko, who have been big supporters of us over the years. It says, as poor as this town is, Access 8 deserves the financial support of the Common Council. We have a $20 pledge from Bob Humphrey down in Milford, Pennsylvania. We have a $25 pledge from Carol and Paul Hirsch in Huguenot. That's Mark Syverson's parents, and they wish him well. And I have a pledge here from a gentleman who has graced us just before, from Senator E. Arthur Gray in the Gray Parker Funeral Home. We have a pledge of $100. Thank you very much. We have a pledge from Tony Palazzo of Toms River, New Jersey. Good station, keep it going, a $50 pledge. We have a pledge from the new owners of the Alexander Restaurant, Joe Norell and Robert Duffy and family, $25. Access 8 is one of the best things that has happened in this area. We tend to agree, folks. Let's hear the phones ring, and let's show us that you agree with that as well. We have a $25 pledge from Alice Garrity of Sussex Street. We have a $25 pledge from Lila Wasey. Lila, thank you very much. Enjoy it and well worth it, and we think it's well worth it too. Stanley and Connie said, good stuff. Stanley Prinkovich, $25 pledge. Thank you very much. Johnny and John Hammond, Route 42 in Sparrowbush, $50 pledge. Thank you very much. Mr. and Mrs. Bob Eccleston here in town, a $50 pledge. Again, thank you very much. And he's got a comment here that the Port Jervis score is 20-6. Does that mean the Port Jervis team won today, folks? 20-6? Great to hear it. Beat Minnesota Valley 20-6. Let's hear it. All of you Port Jervis football players, all you supporters, cheerleaders, coaches, come on down. We'd love to see you here on camera. Whether you win or whether you lose, and we know you're going to have a winning season this year. Come on down. We want to see you on Access 8. You people support us more. We can get out there and show Port Jervis football games again like we used to. We'd love to be out there doing it. We need people to help man the cameras. We can't do it by ourselves. From Mr. John J. Bonisic, a $50 pledge. From the Tri-State Country Music Association, a pledge that we just had with an interview before, $25. From Dick Drew and the Port Jervis Fire Department, a $100 pledge. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. From Lisa Brown of Hammond Street, a $5 pledge. Thank you very much. From John and Edwina Wolf of Sparrowbush, $25. Hope people continue to dig down and contribute. And from L. Jeff Card of Pennsylvania Avenue, Port Jervis, a $25 pledge. From Claire and Jack Carl. Great job. Thank you very much, folks. The phones ought to be ringing a whole lot more so we can get a lot more pledges. We're going to be on the air for a few more hours. we'll stay on as long as we really need to, folks. We need the money this year. We need the money every year, and we need your help. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, there goes the phones, and that's what I like to hear. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, several of us have already said it. There's probably about 10 or 15 of us who tend to do all of the work that goes on day in and day out here. The gentleman sitting to my left is one of those 10 or 15 people. He's serving as floor director today. You've seen him on camera a lot, but more times than you've seen him on camera, his work has been done off camera. He's been behind in the studio, he's been setting up, he's been getting things ready to go. He's been a member for quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Tanzen sitting next to me. I think he deserves a round of applause, too. Steve, how long have you been here at Access 8?
I've been at Access 8 about 4.5 years.
Is there something that really got you motivated to want to come down here and join?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I just, basically did what everybody else did and just stopped down to see what was going on. It's just one of these things where you just wander in, and just sort of see everybody running cameras and things, especially Rich over there is smiling at me. One of those things, and you go in, and Will said, "You want to run a camera?" I said, "Okay, fine." So I just get on a camera, and that's about it.
And I think what you're hearing, folks, is, there's no great mystery to being able to work down here at Access 8 as a volunteer. Running one of these TV cameras may be easier than using a 35mm camera you have at home to take a still shot. It just takes a little bit of time. You take a training session and you learn what to do. Steve is a good example. I think a great number of us here throughout the community, maybe a lot of us who are involved in the arts in one way or another, poets, writers, musicians, dancers, painters, we've all been involved in the arts and we've all been very supportive of each other. And we hope that Access 8 has served as a strong vehicle to be able to convey that out to the community so that everybody out there gets a chance to see the talent that there is here in Port Jervis, town of Deer Park, in the entire tri-state area. You saw Steve on drums behind playing for Bobby Kyle. Steve gives drum lessons here in town. But more so, the talents get spread all the way around. Steve, can you think of some of the favorite programs that you've done here on Access 8? I know you've been involved in enough of them.
Cookie and Wilson, of course. They were the most fun. There's been a lot of them. Each one is really a lot of fun to do because, there's a different aspect for each one. And it's just like the enjoyment of like taking everything, hooking it all together into one show and putting it on the air. It's kind of, it really is TV. It's fun, and you get to see it and you're at home, you tape it and you watch it and everything. It's a lot of fun. It's not as hard as a lot of people would like to say it is, and a lot of people think we get paid and we don't get paid, that's for sure. But, the cameras look hard. They're not that hard to run. You should just come down and try it out, There's no, contract saying you have to be here every night of the week. You come down when you can make it. You learn, what you want to learn, when you want to learn. And it's all up to you what you want to do with it.
Well, you're hearing it, folks. You're hearing it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. If Steve can do it, anybody can do it, right?
Right.
So come on down and be volunteers. It's an important thing for us. I think you'll get a great deal of pleasure and a great deal of gratification out of being able to be part of this TV station. And if you don't want to come down and volunteer for it, well, then maybe send us some money, folks. We sure need it. 856-8100, 856-8161, and 856-8162.
What number is that?
That's 856-8162, 8161, and 856-8100. Send money, folks. Get it on down to us. We'd like to read in about 10 minutes the new total on there, and with your help and your contributions, it can be bigger and better than ever. How are we doing time-wise on here? Are we getting ready to go to our next set?
Yep.
We're getting ready to set up, so we're going to go back over to set A with Steve Butler and very special guest.
And we are back in Studio A. I like that term, Studio A.
Yes,
This is one room, folks. This is not 3 different buildings that you're looking at here. I think the gentleman that's seated on my left is certainly no stranger to anybody who's watching us today. Mayor Dick Roberts from the city of Port Jervis. Good to see you.
Good to be here, Steve. And you hardly recognize this room with what you've done. You've transformed it into beautiful sets. And I'm just happy you gave me the more conservative one versus the beautiful, beautiful backdrop over there.
That's our musical set that was donated
great.
by Jeff Bretschneider. It kind of fits with what we do over there.
Yes, it's just great. I was up last night when you were setting up, and I didn't think you'd get it all together like this. It's good.
Well, it's, as we've been pointing out throughout the day, a lot of it is donated to us by various garden shops and stuff. This set, I believe, was brought in by Doris Hammond, one of our volunteers and past Citizen of the Year, who you folks will meet later, we hope, if she gets out from behind the telephones. So how's your day been?
Busy, but fun.
Wedding like Art Gray?
We've had a couple of weddings. As a matter of fact, I'm heading over to Art's niece's reception now. We were at a wedding earlier, and I had several meetings this morning, but I did want to come up and say hello to you.
Always glad to see you.
Appreciate the invite. I do have a donation that I'd like to give you from my wife,
Why,
Shelley,
thank
and
you, sir.
myself. Hopefully you're going to reach your goal. And I think earlier you said that we're looking towards the communities today.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the governments are finding ways to finance themselves, and obviously whatever we can do to help you, we're going to. You are doing a tremendous job for our city, and I think the call for the volunteers that you've been making all day, hopefully that's going to be as beneficial as the funds that are going to come in.
Yes, and all of us certainly realize, you know, in reading the newspapers and hearing on the radio and things, that as state government starts to look at budgets, and we've heard about the budgets in the state of New York, that and also in the state of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, that without trying to raise taxes too much on a national or on a statewide basis, they seem to be taking more programs that were funded by the state and passing those programs back down to the municipal governments to try to deal with.
Right.
And it certainly makes your job a lot tougher, I'm sure.
Well, that's what we're finding. Many programs that were matching fund 50-50 are now becoming more of a burden on us, and we're trying to obviously maintain as many of these as we can. But we too have to start looking at where our money is going, and I'm sure we're going to have to look at some cuts too. But that's the hard part of our job.
Yes, this is the easy part.
The easy part is, well, it isn't as easy anymore. Obviously, it's getting the volunteers to help folks like you. And it's not just in Access 8, but volunteerism in the whole United States, I think, is important, because obviously we're entering a time also, Steve, and you know and I know, it's difficult for young couples to make ends meet. So you've got both mother and father working, and there isn't as much time anymore for the volunteers. But what I've found, and I'm sure you agree, you mentioned today that maybe you have a total of 20 real active people, and I see them busily doing everything in this studio today, putting together this fine show for 6 straight hours of community entertainment. And it looks like it's just going very smoothly, but I know what work you had preparing for it. And I think, though, the more volunteers you had, the less work all of you would have had. In other words, the more you have, you can just do maybe an hour a week or 2 hours a week. And I don't think you're asking for large commitments from people.
No, definitely not. Maybe a couple, 3 hours a month. That's all.
Right. And that's true of all of our organizations.
Yes.
Whether it be Access 8 or Cato.
Fire department, project team. The DARE program.
We're just looking for some people to give a little bit of time in each of these areas. And I think it's going to make not only Port Jervis better, but the whole Tri-States area.
Yes. One thing that I think we keep mentioning to people, to the viewers and everything, is that this asset that we have here in Port Jervis, and we've been recognized through the state as being in the top 10 active public access television stations, including Long Island, New York City, and all those other areas that we mentioned before. We have a station here that's on maybe 4 nights a week, maybe a total of 15 on a good week, 20 hours a week, when there are more than 140 hours in a week. And if we had more people down here that could generate more programs of local interest, because that's the beauty of what we do.
That's the name of the game.
Yep,
Right.
that we would be able to be on the air much, much more and bring a much more varied series of programs for the people.
Well, as I say, hopefully this is going to result not only in money, but in the volunteers that you need. I know you're going to train them well. You mentioned before running the cameras is probably easier than running a home camera.
Yes.
Mainly because you're going to train them. And I know the work that you've done in the past. I do see some new faces here today, which I think is good. One of my former students, by the way, over here.
Mark?
Right. And Mark doesn't have shorts on, but I think he has better legs than Stan Siegel. Okay?
If anybody wants to send in a $50 pledge to see Mark Severson's legs, do that right now, and we'll get them on the air, just so we don't have to look at seagulls anymore.
Right.
Well, I know you're real busy. I know you have places to go, and we're just fortunate that you took enough time to come down here and say hello to us. And
I wanted to, and again, I just wish you well. I would like to say before I leave, though, you were mentioning about monies coming in from various organizations like Cablevision Industry. Earlier this summer, John Russell and I had occasions to meet with Cablevision on different matters, and at one point we came to a situation we said, well, we're going to check out something in the franchise agreement. And we had forgotten, and I think you said you'd forgotten, that Cablevision has an obligation to donate to the city to be given to Access 8 a $1,000 payment each of the years of the contract agreement. We had forgotten about it. You had forgotten about it. And they claimed they had forgotten about it. But we brought it to their attention. And John Russell called me yesterday and said that Bill Jensen, who's the Orange County manager, is going to send a $3,000 check to me, which will be turned over to you. Now, that's not a donation. That's an obligation of Cablevision as per the agreement. And
Wonderful.
we will not let them forget the next several years that
We
they
won't
owe
either.
this money. No, now that we
won't either.
remember. So I just wanted to pass that on to you. I don't have the check today, but you will get it shortly. I will call them Tuesday to make sure that the check is coming.
Well, thanks for
And
your
I
efforts.
hope that helps.
That'll help immensely, immensely.
Good.
And again,
Okay.
thank you for taking the
Good.
time, Mayor, to come down and see us, and
Okay.
thank you and your wife for
I
the
will.
very generous donation today.
Just keep doing a good job.
We will do that, sir. Thank you. Mayor Richard Roberts, how about that? Okay, folks, it's approaching 6 o'clock. I see Doris Aversa waiting. Oh, we have a grab bag. Yes, I have them here. Dick is going to pull the next grab bag winner if somebody can run up to me very quickly with what we're giving away. Mark, can you grab this so that we can see? This is part of Telethon 1990. I will also mention to the viewers that we will be announcing our 6 o'clock total a little late, probably about 5 or 10 after 6.
And we're not going to date you any longer by Al's Men's Store, right?
No, I feel twice my age today. Dick is going to pull the winner of Brother Bruno's restaurant, one pizza pie at Brother Bruno's, and the winner is
Will Hoppy.
Will Hoppy.
All right.
Ay. Oh, fix. It's
You
no
can
fix.
take me with you. I'll go with you. Don't
His
worry.
wife just won the last one. His wife won. What'd she win?
Al's Music Shop.
Music Store.
She's gonna get the pizza. I'm going to the music.
Well, now you got something to swap for.
Okay.
Again, thanks to Mayor Roberts. How about a round of applause, folks?
Good luck.
There's a lot more coming on Telethon 1990, so stay with us, folks. We've been on the air, well, it's 6 o'clock. We've been on the air 4 hours. It's getting hot down here. There's still plenty of food, plenty of pizza, plenty of soda. If you want to stop on down and see us, do that. We're going to be here. We have some very interesting guests that will be coming up with us as the evening progresses. Bill Larkin is here. Dorothy Berkowitz is here. She's going to do a little song and dance for us. Let's cut to the best of right now while we do some set changes here in the studio. Make those phones ring. Thank you.
Jason Neal, Menacing Valley. Vincent Millay, Trinity Catholic.
Seth Berkowitz, Port Jervis.
Oliver Millay, Delaware Valley.
Allison Sullivan, Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Jim Magnin, Port Jervis.
Elaine DeCastro, Menacing Valley. Valley, Delaware Valley.
Dan Merkel, Menacing Valley. Jimmy Critelli, Menacing Valley.
Celeste Millay, Delaware Valley.
Sarah O'Neill, Trinity Catholic.
Carrie Barron, Delaware Valley.
Sarah Silvati, Eldred. Julie Budd, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Melissa Mallet, Port Jervis.
Alfred Dorston, Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Allison Greenfield, Trinity Catholic.
Carolyn Mary, Port Jervis.
James Casimiro, Delaware Valley.
Tim Brody, Trinity Catholic. Teresa Smith, Eldred.